Hello, bonjour, bienvenidos, benvenuti. Welcome to the Music Polyglot channel. Today we are going to have a look at Ceilings by Lizzy McAlpine. Now, two things that we are not going to learn in this video. We're not going to learn how to play the song on guitar. I'm not going to show you all the chords for every section, strumming patterns, etc, etc. For that, you have a full video that I've done only on that, so go check that out first if you can't play the song yet. The second thing that we're not going to do, I'm not going to teach you how to sing this song. I'm not going to teach you where to pitch it and how to, and what the articulations are and the techniques that Lizzy's using. I'm not going to teach you any of that. So what is it that we're going to do then? Well, we're going to learn how to put those two things together so that you can play and sing at the same time. Let's get into this. Today we don't even need a close-up because we're going to be doing everything right here on this beautiful space that I've left myself. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the beat. Simple enough. The beat is this underlying pulse that we feel underneath most music, right? It's constant, so it doesn't disappear. It continues throughout the whole song, the whole piece, and in most cases, it doesn't slow down or speed up. It's constant. So the first thing that we're going to do with Ceilings is let's find where the beat is. This is going to be crucial. Now, this is not something that you should overthink. See where you feel this beat. You'll probably feel your foot tapping or your head nodding, and that's probably going to be on the beat, right? So don't overthink it, see where you feel it. I'll leave it for like 10 seconds before I start speaking, okay? Here we go. Okay, I can already feel my foot tapping to it, my head's nodding to the beat. Can you feel it? So the beat is here, right?
Plaster. Can't you just make it move faster? Lovely to be sitting here with you. You're kinda cute, but it...
Carry on doing that, especially if you can't feel it that easily. Keep going. Make sure that you feel it in the right place and that it's constant. Now, the second thing we're going to try and do is we're going to try and group those beats in bars. In this song, we have 6 beats in each bar. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first thing that you should do, especially if you're not used to doing this, is to go through the whole song, making sure that you can count following the beat throughout. You're counting bars of 6, right? So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again, remember that you never stop. Remember that you never slow down or speed up. So even if the rhythm in the instruments changes, and in this song it will change, but the beat doesn't change. Even when there's gaps, silences, rests in the transitions in the song, like I'll show you one like right now, the beat doesn't change. It keeps going. Same speed, same number of beats in the bar. Check out this transition, right? So just to illustrate how this works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see? So even though there was a gap there, because we were counting the beats, we knew exactly when to come back in. That's how musicians do it. Obviously, in most cases, it's internalized. They don't even realize that they're doing it, but the counting is there. So now that we know where the beat is, let's make sure that we have the strumming sorted out. Remember that if you need to learn what the chords are, the strumming pattern, etc., there's a whole video on that you can check out, where you can also download the tabs, etc. So remember how we have 6 beats in the bar? Well, those are the 6 beats that we're going to be playing. You know that we're in standard tuning. Capo goes on the 2nd fret. The first chord is C add 9. We're going to be strumming the 6 beats in the bar. We're going to do that with our thumb, just because that's what happens on the track. And we're going to be strumming downstrokes on every beat. So we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay? So let's do this now. We're going to go through the whole intro. I'll put up the chords here so you can follow. We're going to go through the whole intro playing just those beats, the downstrokes on every bar. There's a couple of places where we have to be careful. See that bar of G6 and D over F sharp? They both happen in the same bar, so that means that we're going to have to change halfway through the bar. On the G6, we're going to have 1, 2, 3 change, and 4, 5, 6 are going to be on the D over F sharp. Likewise, at the end where we have that D over A, we're going to stay on that D over A for 2 bars. Okay, I'll give you a count in, so I'll count from 1 to 6, and then we can start together. Just down strums with the thumb. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Careful here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 2 bars. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How's that? So far, so good? If that was difficult, go over that as many times as you need, because this is going to be really, really important. Next step. Now, not only are we going to strum the downstrokes, so the beats, we're also going to strum the upstrokes, so the ands. So every note that lies in between our beat, we're going to call it and we're going to strum it upwards. Right? So now instead of it being just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. 1 and 2. And same speed. Right? Remember this thing about the pulse, the beat. It's our hands still going down at the same speed as before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only now also strumming the upstrokes. That's the only difference. Cool, let's go through the intro, now strumming downs and ups. Same tempo, I'll count us in, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 2 bars on this. Okay, now if you can do that, we're ready to go. We're going to be working on the first 2 lines of the first verse, where we go ceilings, plaster, can't you just make it move faster? Right, just those 2. Even though, especially if you see the lyrics printed or whatever, you see that they're divided into 2 lines, right? Ceilings, plaster, and then can't you just make it move faster? I'm going to propose to you that these are actually 3 different phrases. Why? Because you go ceilings, plaster, can't you just make it move faster? Right? So you have a gap after ceilings, you breathe, then you go plaster, gap, you breathe. That's another phrase, so that's the second phrase. And then on the third one, can't you just make it move faster? You say all that in one go before you breathe again. So all that is one phrase. So 3 phrases. Ceilings, plaster, can't you just make it move faster? This is going to be important. So now let's talk about the first phrase, ceilings. What we need to find out is where on our bar we need to start singing ceilings. So that first phrase, ceilings, doesn't actually come in on the first beat of the bar. It comes in on the 4th beat of the bar. That means that we're going to have 3 beats of just playing the first chord, and then on the 4th beat, we go on and sing ceilings. So we know that that verse starts on that C at 9. I'll play it a little bit slower. I'll count myself in and I'll start playing the verse so that you can see what's going on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, ceilings. 1. Okay, so you see how we had 3 beats and then we said ceilings. Now, how to best practice this? Count. And count out loud, like literally go 1, 2, 3, ceilings. Do that on the first chord, the C at 9 chord. And on the second chord, you have the second phrase, plaster, that follows the exact same pattern. 1, 2, 3, plaster. Right, so far you would have 1, 2, 3, ceilings. 1, 2, 3, plaster. And literally count that out loud until it becomes comfortable. And then you can drop it to kind of the back of your mind. You'll still be counting, but just silently, right? 1, 2, 3, ceilings, plaster. That's the first 2 bars. In the third phrase, well, guess what? It starts off in the exact same place, on 4. 1, 2, 3, can you just make it move faster? This phrase, because it's a bit longer, we need to figure out a few more things. So we're going to pay attention to 3 particular syllables. The can't, the first syllable, can't, make, and fast, from faster, obviously, but just the first syllable, fast. Okay, so can't, make, fast. Why? Well, if we're starting on the 4th beat, check it out, we would have 1, 2, 3, can't you just make it go faster? Okay, so make would come at the beginning of the next bar on the first beat. This is important to us because we have a chord change to the G6. So we know that we're going to have to change to G6 at the same time as we're singing make. And then fast will come at the same time as we're changing to the D over F sharp. So we can then make sure that we are synchronized at those particular points, right? So you can go 1, 2, 3. Can you just make it go faster? Right? And then you'll notice that it doesn't really matter how you phrase everything in between. You can actually make it your own as long as those points are synchronized. Now, have you spotted the pattern? Phrases start on the 4th beat of the bar, in this case. And in well-written songs like Ceilings clearly is, you'll have these very, very clear patterns that will help you if you can spot them, right? Things are not going to be just haphazard, random. They're going to have very clear patterns that if you spot, then that's how you navigate the whole thing. And then obviously those patterns are going to be broken because you want to create that element of instability and surprise, like in the next phrase, for example. Lovely to be sitting here with you. There, we're going to be slightly breaking the pattern, but where do you think the phrase starts? Yes, on 4, on the 4th beat of the bar. That's the pattern that we've established so far, so that would be your first educated guess, right? So you're going to be going 1, 2, 3, lovely to be sitting here with you. Starts off on 3. But then it changes, did you notice? So how does it change? So we go 1, 2, 3, lovely. So lovely is going to come in on 4. And then on the next, when we change to the E minor 7, the 2 for 2B, we are going to be singing that 2 on the 2nd beat of the bar. So remember this kind of placeholders that we've been using by counting the beats out loud. Right? So we've been going 1, 2, 3, lovely. So for the next phrase, it's just going to be 1. And then you say the 2B sitting here with you. So 1, 2, 3, lovely. 1, 2 be sitting here with you. Right? So it's on the 2nd beat of the bar. And guess what? The to be sitting here, the with you will also come on the 2nd beat of the following bar. So even when the pattern is broken, it is broken in an orderly way when the song's well written. right? And you have a new pattern. So recap on that last phrase. You have 1, 2, 3, lovely. 1, to be sitting here, 1 with you. If you'd like to download the lyrics with the placeholders and the chords, you can do that from my Patreon page, link in the description below. Also, if you want the full tabs for the guitar part with all the chords, sections, etc., you can download it from the same place. Link in the description. Okay, let's talk about the last phrase in the verse, that you're kind of cute, but it's there. The pattern really breaks again, which again is really good writing because breaking a pattern creates instability, right? It signals that something has broken and that you need to put it back together again, which is how in music you signal changes, right? So this is okay, this is signaling that this is the end of a section, in this case the first half of the verse, and now we're going to go and start a new section. In this case it's going to be the second half of the verse with raining. So now that you know how to do this, see if you can figure out where the "you're kind of cute but it's" phrase comes in. Let's say I'll play it for you from the lovely. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely to be sitting here with you. Did you get it? So yeah, on the first beat, now we are bang at the beginning of the bar, right on that second bar of the D at 9. So again from the lovely, that would be 1, 2, 3, lovely. 1 to be sitting here, 1 with you. You're kinda cute, but it's raining. So mapping out where phrases begin is going to get you kind of halfway there. You can pretty much do whatever you want with the phrasing after you've started in the right place. And when there are key things that you need to synchronize, key syllables that you need to synchronize with beginnings of bars, which is often where the chord changes happen, as we saw in the third phrase. Can't you just make it move faster, right? If you synchronize those syllables, you're there. That's it. That's all you need to do. You can do anything you want in between. So that's the first verse. The second verse is exactly the same as the first. Obviously, the words are going to be different. And this is the way you should do the rest of the song. We don't need to go over absolutely everything here now that you know how to do it. Learning to do this is a big part of what I do with a lot of my online students. So you can have a completely free lesson on ceilings just by contacting me on my website below. There we have it. So in general, the approach is: 1, learn to play the song on the guitar and make sure that that's completely memorized and it's second nature, so you don't have to think about the guitar when you're trying to sing on top. Number 2, make sure that you know the lyrics off by heart again, so you don't have to be reading them or trying to remember them. Make sure obviously that you know the melody really, really well, so you don't have to kind of be guessing or improvising. And thirdly, and this is what we introduced here, we need to know exactly when the beginnings of phrases are. And for that, making yourself a little chart like the one we've been using here, literally with the placeholders as to what beats we need to count in our heads or out loud before we start the actual phrases, that's going to be invaluable. If you want to download the one we used here, you can do that from the Patreon page. Right? And then in order to build this, you're going to have to go through the whole song slowly, right? You know how to slow down YouTube videos on the settings, you know, the playback mode, playback speed rather. Put it to 0.75, and so you can have more time to count those beats and to work out where exactly the phrases are starting. And when you're practicing singing, make sure that you pay really close attention as to where the phrases, the notes start, and not just the pitch, not just the expression, the articulation, the emotion, which is all very, very important. But if you want to play and if you want to sing at the same time as you play an instrument, rhythm is going to be crucial. Have fun. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima. Arrivederci. Au revoir.